Welcome to Light Her Up, your go-to podcast for exploring what it means to align with your passions and create a life filled with freedom, ease, and fulfillment. I'm your host, Natalie Bernacchi, a mom, entrepreneur, and certified coach who left a 15-year corporate career to build a life aligned with my passions and help other women do the same. We'll be diving deep into topics like self-discovery, mindset shifts, and the courage to pursue the life you've always dreamed of. Thank you for being here and for prioritizing yourself. I'm honored to be a part of your journey. If you're ready to find your joy, reclaim your identity, and upgrade your life, you're in the right place. Now let's light it up. Hello, my loves. Today we are diving into a big topic, alignment. You've probably heard that term thrown around a lot, especially in personal growth spaces, but what does it really mean? For me, alignment is when your life feels in flow. Your actions, your choices, your energy, they all feel connected to your purpose, your values, and your joy. When you're in alignment, things feel lighter. You wake up with a sense of clarity. Even if your to-do list is long, it feels like there's kind of just this internal ease, this internal flow. You have energy, you feel inspired, and life just seems to work better. Almost like it's working for you and not the other way around. But when you're out of alignment, that's when things can feel heavy. It can look like burnout, frustration, resentment, or even boredom. Your days feel like they're dragging and you start questioning everything, even the things that you used to love. And yes, it's normal to fall out of alignment from time to time. We're human, it's going to happen. We go through seasons. But that is what I want to talk about today, is how to notice it early and, more importantly, how to course correct before it becomes your new normal. So before we dive in, let me ask you this. Are you holding back from starting your business or from fully living your dream life? Your business is a huge part of your life. We spend so much of our time and our energy there. So why would you pour all of that effort into something that doesn't light you up? What's really holding you back from going all in on you? Well, I can tell you, my friend Emily and I have been there. We had these big burning visions for our lives, but for a while we were hiding. We were hiding behind other roles, other identities that we had taken on. And it wasn't until we found true support from each other and from community that everything started to shift. We inspired each other. We held each other accountable. And we finally started taking scary action that brought our visions to life, even bigger than what we could have imagined. And the best part in doing that, we were able to help other women rise too. That is exactly why we created our mastermind, and we are so excited to finally be bringing it online. This is a space where your biggest, boldest dreams are welcomed. There's more than enough room at the table because this table was made for you. It's a community that sees you as the ambitious, intuitive, and wildly capable woman that you are. So get on the wait list. The link is in the show notes. And if you're on the wait list, you'll be the first to know when doors open. And trust me, you do not want to miss it. Okay, so getting into the episode. Alignment. What is alignment? Well, the simplest way for me to articulate alignment is really through a feeling. It's when you feel in flow, when your life feels in flow, when your energy feels in flow. It's when your actions, your choices, your energy all feel connected to that purpose, to your values, to that feeling of joy. For me, I also start to attract more of what's in alignment when I'm aligned. It's funny how that works, huh? And to make it super relatable, I like to think of alignment kind of like your physical body. So, for example, since I've had my first daughter, I swear I've thrown out my back at least twice a year. And when that happens, my entire body feels off. my back or my neck is hurting, and it's not just that area, it causes a ripple effect. So when I throw my back out or my neck out, I'll overcompensate with another part of my body. My sleep gets thrown off. My energy then drops. And honestly, it seems to affect everything. It's like this one area of misalignment spirals into my entire system. And then it starts to ripple outside of my own system into how I react to my kids, into how I react to my husband, into how I react to my everyday things that come up in life. And life is exactly the same. When you're doing something that's misaligned or when you're living in misalignment, it doesn't just impact that one thing, it trickles out. Your mood, your relationships, your creativity, your health, it all starts to feel completely out of whack. Now, to be clear, yes, there are always going to be things that you do in a day that you don't love. We all have to do things we don't love doing, and that's life. But if you're doing enough things in your day that are aligned, that light you up, that make you feel purposeful, it won't knock you completely off balance. It's when your entire day is stacked with misaligned tasks and obligations that things start to feel really, really heavy. So I was trying to think of an analogy for this, and I really like to think about working out like yoga, Pilates, weight training. Imagine any workout that you do. Now imagine if you were only working out one side of your body, like doing bicep curls with just your left arm over and over and over again. That arm is going to get stronger and that arm is going to get bigger. And the rest of your body, like your other arm, it's going to feel completely imbalanced because that other arm isn't going to get stronger. It's going to stay the same. In fact, it may even get weaker because this other arm you're working out is getting all the muscle. And this is how I look at alignment. I don't really believe in this idea of perfect balance because life is messy. And I actually think that striving for a perfect balance is actually detrimental because you'll spend your whole life trying to find this perfect balance and you'll never find it. But I do believe in striving for alignment, making sure that in your day to day, you're consciously adding what feels good and true for you to your day. And the more aligned action you take, the more resilient you become. So when things do throw you off, when you do get knocked off course, because they will, you will bounce back faster. Your baseline will stay really strong. So, I want to share a personal story because honestly, I didn't realize that I was out of alignment. And on paper, when I think about it, everything looked amazing. I had a great job with a solid title, a really good paycheck. I was married with two beautiful kids. We got to travel, go on fun vacations, and do things that a lot of people just dream about. I did feel really lucky. And from the outside, it seemed like I had it all together. But inside, I was feeling so off. The signs were really subtle at first, and I think that's why it was so hard to catch on right away. I was snappy, like I would snap at my husband, snap at my kids, and snap at a lot of things that just really didn't matter. They were not big deals. I should have just let them go. But in the moment, they really got me. I was exhausted all the time. And no matter how much sleep I got, I never felt like I had enough. The biggest red flag, though, was waking up and dreading the day in front of me. You know, those mornings where you open your eyes and immediately you feel that pit in your stomach, like you're already behind, like you're already overwhelmed. That was me. And it even started to get worse before I even did anything about it. By Saturday, let's just say it was the weekend, by Saturday, I'd be feeling anxious because I only had one more day of freedom before going back to work. And then by Sunday, that anxiety would take over the entire day. It would completely ruin my entire day. It would completely ruin my husband's entire day because I knew Monday was coming and I had to go back to a job that I sincerely hated. And It wasn't like I actually hated everything. I actually liked the people that I worked with. I loved the travel and the fun events that my husband and I did. And of course, I loved my kids and my husband. And truly, we had a really good life. At home, sure, I don't love doing the dishes or the laundry, but those tasks weren't really the problem. The real issue was that my entire day revolved around a draining job. And then the little time that I had left at home was eaten up by more draining tasks. So even my so called free time got swallowed up by chores and obligations. I realized I had nothing in my day that was just for me. That's when it truly hit me. It wasn't the tasks themselves that were the problem. It was the fact that I was completely neglecting myself. And that was my wake up call. When I finally recognized and had that realization of what was going on, I knew something had to change. But I also knew that it wasn't realistic to overhaul my entire life overnight. So I just started making small steps. I made a commitment to have my coffee in peace every morning, even if it was just 10 quiet minutes without my phone or any distractions. I cherish that cup of coffee in the morning in complete silence because if you have kids, you know that that is the first thing that goes is that silence. So I truly wake up and cherish that time with just me, myself, and I, and my cup of coffee on the couch. I also committed to working out first thing every morning because movement has always been a huge nervous system regulator for me. It's the best way for me to move stagnant energy and set the tone for the day before the day has the chance to take over. Because when I would schedule my workouts for after work or later in the day, things would happen during the day. And the first thing that I would deprioritize was my workout because I'd be like, oh, well, I still have to work on this a little bit longer. So I guess I just won't do my workout today. But if I do it first thing in the morning, nothing can get in the way of that. I started picking up my kids from school 15 minutes earlier than usual, just to give us that little bit of extra time together that felt good, that felt unhurried. When we would rush home from school, get in the door, by the time that we have a snack, they do their homework, they take a bath, they eat their dinner, it's time for bed already. So, even building in that 15 minutes so that life doesn't feel rushed and it just feels a little bit slower, a little bit more grounded, a little bit calmer, that was super helpful. I started going on short walks around the block. No podcast, no headphones, no multitasking on my phone, just me and my thoughts and nature. And I picked up reading, something I've always loved, but had completely put on the back burner. And this one still slips. And I love, love reading. So I do want to make sure that I create the time and the space for reading in my life. At first, these were tiny moments, but they were mine. And over time, those 15 minutes turned into 30, and those 30 minutes turned into an hour. And now these moments are non negotiable. And the beautiful thing is that when life throws me curveballs, and it does all the time, when I have a sick kid at home, when my husband travels for work, whatever it is, I don't spiral. I stay grounded because I've built the habit of consistently checking in with my alignment. So I have a few tips for you. When you're feeling out of alignment, the first thing to do is recognize the red flags. I can't stress this enough. Your body always knows first. If you're feeling snappy, drained, even after a full night's sleep or waking up dreading the day, those are signs that you're out of alignment. Don't ignore them. Start noticing your patterns. Your energy is truly a compass. It's always trying to tell you something if you're willing to listen. I don't know about you guys, but I also lean on technology. And one of the things that I have is this Aura ring, and I love it. And a lot of people that I've talked to are like, "Are you sure it's really worth it?" And personally, I truly think it is. I don't know what other tech gadgets there are out there that track your sleep. It doesn't have to be an Aura ring. That's just what I like because I think it's really pretty and cute. And people compliment me all the time. They think it's like an actual piece of jewelry. But I love that it tells me my sleep score and it tells me how long I've slept and it dives deep into those sleep metrics like REM sleep and deep sleep. And it really does help me figure out patterns in my life and themes in my life. It tracks my stress levels. So I can have these early warning signs of red flags. So if you have the ability or the opportunity to get some tech tools literally to help you make yourself aware of some of these red flags, just to bring awareness to it was the first step for me. Tip number 2, build a reflection practice. One of the biggest game changers for me was truly starting a reflection practice. Every single week, I check in with myself and I ask myself a few questions. And it's just 3 questions. I used to have a very elaborate weekly check in, and then I realized, no, I'm so busy. If I want this to be a consistent habit, it needs to be something that's really simple. And so the 3 questions that I reflect on every single Sunday are: 1, what did I do well this week? 2, what could I have done better? And 3, what brought me joy? It's such a simple habit and it's incredibly powerful because it helps you catch misalignment early before it spirals and before it becomes a full blown burnout. Now, once a month, I do a deeper dive where I reflect on some more things like my accomplishments. And when I say accomplishments, I mean the things that I'm most proud of, not what society tells me to celebrate. I do a theme of my month. So I look back at the last month and I think, what was the theme of this month? So, for example, in January, it was recalibrating because I was literally recalibrating my entire life because I had just left my over 15-year career in the corporate world, starting my own business. So I had to recalibrate. Last month was all about systems, getting systems in place. So I like to look back at the last month and think, what was the theme? Did it serve me? And what does this next month theme need to be? Or what do I need to prioritize? Now, because reading is something that I love and it's a value of mine, and I want to keep prioritizing that, I have a little check item on there that's what books did I read? And if I'm noticing that I'm not reading enough books, well, then that's my reminder that I'm going to feel out of alignment if I don't build space into that next month for me to create time to read. My best moments. So, who was I with? Where was I? How was I feeling? The feeling is a big part. And really holding on and anchoring into that feeling and knowing that your best moments, although the same moment can't be replicated, you can do more of those types of things. And then what worked, what didn't, what can I improve? Those are always really good. And if you're checking in on a weekly basis, it's not going to be as hard to really calibrate on those on the monthly. Then I also do a check in around travel. Travel is another big core value of mine. It's a perspective expander for me, and I never want to stop traveling. However, there have been times in life, like last year in 2024, I traveled way too much to the point where I was like burned out. I felt like I wasn't grounded, I wasn't at home enough. So this year, I'm being a bit more intentional about keeping my roots grounded here at home, and being super intentional about where we're going. So I always do a check in around travel. I ask, am I overdoing it? Am I heading toward burnout? Is it still enjoyable for me? Am I excited about the trips that are coming up? Um, I ask myself, have I been stuck in one place for too long and am I feeling restless? It really does help me stay intentional about how I live and where I spend my energy. And this is where the practice comes into my real life. So, because I tend to do this every Sunday, on Sunday, I started what I call self-care Sundays. So, I always carve out a little bit of downtime at home where the kids can also enjoy their downtime. And I'll take a bath. I'll maybe pull some oracle cards. I'll read a book, and I will do my weekly and monthly reflections in the bath. This little ritual has become one of the most nourishing parts of my week. It recenters me, it helps me reset my energy, and it gets me aligned before my new week begins. And I've noticed that when I prioritize myself in this way, when I am grounded, when I'm able to reset, I show up as a better mom, a better wife, a better coach, a better friend, a better human. It's just such an amazing reminder that reflection isn't just a mindset thing, it's truly self-care practice in itself. And tip 3, add in the micro moments of alignment. So don't underestimate the power of tiny shifts. Start small. You don't have to say, tomorrow I'm going to go do 2 hours of self-care. No, commit to 15 minutes of something that truly fills up your cup. It can be as small as that 10 minutes in the morning that you wake up and sit on the couch with your cup of coffee that you love, a quick walk around your neighborhood, make a playlist of music that truly lights you up, and actually sit there and listen to it. Maybe go outside and get in some nature. I love to put my feet in the grass, my bare feet on the grass. And these little moments build momentum. When you weave them into your routine consistently, they create a solid foundation that keeps you grounded, even when life feels chaotic or unpredictable. And as again, with kids, it's pretty much always chaotic and unpredictable. So, alignment isn't about perfection or having this dreamy day every single day. It's about consistently checking in with yourself, making space for what lights you up, and being super intentional with your time and your energy. You are worthy of creating that aligned life, and it starts with simple, sustainable shifts. So, this week's challenge is to build in 15 minutes a day and do something that lights you up. And again, it doesn't have to be anything hard, anything crazy. Just pick something that you truly enjoy doing. And don't forget, mamas, the waitlist for our mastermind is now live. It's in the show notes. So if you want to join the mastermind, if you're in a season of wanting to prioritize feeling aligned and lit up, and you're ready to finally put yourself first, start that business, scale your side hustle, or take your business to the next level with a community of powerhouse women, then this is for you. I can't wait to see you on the wait list, and I will catch you on the next episode. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Light Her Up. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to take steps towards a life better than you ever dreamed. I see you, I hear you, and I'm so proud of you for showing up and prioritizing your journey. When you fill up your cup with love, you can pour so much more into the people and passions that matter to you most. If this episode resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you subscribed, left a review, and shared it with someone who could use a little extra light. For more, check out our weekly 5-minute meditations or connect with me on Instagram at The Light Within Collective. I'm sending you my love, and I'll catch you on the next episode.